A referendum to abolish the British monarchy to be initiated when the Queen Elizabeth II of England, dies. Published today, Steve McCamley on Collective Spark. Well, this is a big difference. What to expect after Prince Andrew and what's happening with Prince Harry and Meghan? The Republican movement in Britain has recently announced its campaign to make a case for a future referendum, so the people of England are going to vote on this, in regards to the state of the British monarchy after the Queen's death. For years, the United Kingdom has been under the monarchy, paying large sums to the royal family every single year, and essentially upholding every archaic tradition that in reality too little to add to the lives of the British citizens. Finally, people are starting to see through this charade and question what gives this family the right to sit on these thrones and live this lifestyle. Now, I've been to England many a time, and I know that you cannot take the royalty out of the blood of the English. They want their queen. They want their king. Period. That's the prediction I'm making once the referendum vote comes out. All right. So we'll see if I'm right or not. But going on with this, the Republican is a grassroots movement which includes over 5,000 members, and 35,000 supporters feel that the British monarchy is not the, quote, harmless tourist attraction that most people think, unquote, but that it has a long history of abusing the money that is funded by the public and meddling in the realm of politics. Why do we even have a queen, is the question. The group posted a statement on the evening of the Queen's birthday mentioning how the event reminds us that support for the monarchy is bound up with support for the Queen. Their website has a pink banner wishing Mrs. Windsor a happy birthday, right beside a subtle or not hashtag Stop the Rain. In an interview with The Independent, Graham Smith, the chief executive of Republic, shared his and the organization's view to have a referendum as soon as possible. He feels that the period of time between the Queen's funeral and her son Prince Charles's coronation will be an ideal time. Quote, it will be the first time most people have seen change in the head of state, he says. I think that's going to be a slightly odd, jarring experience for a lot of people. All of a sudden, you've got this other monarch who has been hoisted upon us, and no debate about who it is going to be. For once, actually seeing hereditary power in practice, you'll actually see the inheritance of the throne taking place. And he added, the referendum, is to get rid of it. It needs to be straightforward constitutional reform referendum. We may win, we may lose, but the succession would change public opinion. It will change the nature of the debate. I think most public opinion is different to the whole thing. An awful lot of it is tied up with the Queen. Over the next 10 years, the debate is going to pick up because people will be coming alive to the fact that Charles is looming on the horizon as king. Recently, during the convention of the Alliance of European Republic Movements in Madrid, Mr. Smith said that while there is nothing wrong with turning 90, there is something wrong with turning 90 when you have been Queen of England for 60-something years. In a recording of the event published on YouTube, Mr. Smith said, when the Queen dies, the moment she is declared dead, Charles is king, so there is no gap, and there is certainly no official plan for a referendum. He is king immediately, and the coronation would be about 6 months later. So that would be an opportunity after the funeral and before the coronation for us to do some campaigning and say, hang on a minute, this is the 21st century. If we're going to have a new head of state, then perhaps we want to have a vote, end quote. The group was more than off-put with the BBC's coverage of the Queen's birthday. Mr. Smith said, the Queen's birthday does not warrant this kind of coverage. It is inappropriate to celebrate a political figure like this, and the public just aren't that excited about the royals. The BBC has a duty to report, not to celebrate the royals. That reporting must be fair, balanced, and proportionate. So far this week, the BBC has failed completely on those measures. It's completely over the top, Smith said. I don't wish the Queen anything but a happy birthday, but it does raise all these questions about the future of the monarchy. Final thoughts? To those of us who are not living in the UK or have a country that has a monarchy, it seems pretty far out that this sort of thing still exists. As I mentioned earlier, it only takes a little bit of outside-the-box thinking to realize that having any sort of monarchy at all doesn't really make sense. what made the people in those families so special, and why are many of our hard-earned income tax dollars going to support these lucky chosen few? This concept feels very archaic, outdated, and it's about time these types of things were put to an end. Really, for what reason at all do we need a queen or a royal family for that matter? Let's hope this campaign gets the attention it deserves and opens the eyes and minds of millions of oblivious Britons. This is from Referendum to Abolish Monarchy to be initiated in Britain when the Queen dies, originally for Creative Evolution, and is published here under Creative Commons on Collective Spark. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.